Hello again to everybody on Team Wix Away, or if you've just found this channel, I am a superstar director with Scentsy family from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is just an information video for my team, but definitely let me know if you want to learn more. So guys, this one I promise will be shorter. I hope you had a chance to watch last night's longer one before watching this, so that you could have that background and understanding before this video, because the topics are very much tied in together. But for this one, I just want to go over, like I said in the other video, the cross-promoting part. So not so much the focus on, why you yourself would want to, not why, the things to consider first if you are considering joining more than one direct sales company. And just some of the reasons that many of us in the industry feel can be harmful to that, as well as maybe people don't think of in terms of finding the success they want to find with that one company. But today I want to talk about the cross-promoting, and this is a big direct sales industry ethics, agreed upon by any that abide by being part of the DSA, for sure. And that's protection, because we are building businesses. It's not just the company protecting their bottom line, but each of us that decide to go all in and build a business with our company that, at least in Scentsy's situation, we can leave this business to our children. We can sell it, pass it on, and not lose it. And so this policy about cross-promoting is more about recruiting. So it definitely does have more to do with the direct sales industry, where someone would sign up somehow as a distributor, so direct sales network marketing, versus just buying products. As you all know, we definitely have policies within Scentsy about, leveraging your Scentsy contacts for sales and benefit to yourself, or your family, or a friend, or a cousin, and their business. That isn't necessarily direct sales, but say they build things, so they make stands for warmers. That's great, but us advertising that in a team page or specifically to our Scentsy connections that we met through Scentsy, that is against our compliance and our policies. But when it comes to the cross-promoting section, it is speaking more to the recruiting, and that is why it's taken very seriously by Scentsy, for sure, and compliance, and they have reasons for that, and there's a lot of need for explanation sometimes when they have to terminate or suspend someone for it, because there are a lot of hurt feelings and misunderstandings, and they definitely come from both sides, the hurt feelings, and so that's why this topic has been brought up a lot recently within the leaders talking to each other, for sure. And I just felt it was important to go over it for you guys, because I didn't really ever talk about it in too much detail before, because of my own personal belief in supporting friends that have a business outside of Scentsy. If I want them to support me, how can I turn around and not support them when they ask me to host or purchase from them? Just because I'm scared of, getting in trouble for cross-promoting. So it is a fine line, and it's a hard one to navigate sometimes if you're an overthinker like me. And so with the recent discussions about it, it helped me find where that line is a little bit better, and so I hope I can do it justice explaining it to you on this video. There is no rule around inviting Scentsy contacts to a party you're hosting for another friend. The risk that comes in doing that is if they go to that party and you met them, so the defining of who would be cross-promoting is if anybody that you met primarily because of Scentsy, your relationship began because of Scentsy. And again, in our team, for those of us in the Maritimes especially, my team are my friends. And so it's a hard thing to navigate. While, I mean, 5 years in, they're my friends. Does that still count as Scentsy only? So that's where the generosity comes in with the company, and understanding and hearing the whole story. And they're going to they would look at every piece of the puzzle. So I don't want you to be afraid of being friends with each other. Just know the risk that if you invite those friends to a party for another direct sales company, and you're not the consultant for that other direct sales company, but one of them decides to join that person because of being there that night, that could potentially be considered cross-promoting on your behalf. So when you started the process and invited them, you weren't out of compliance. However, you could end up being out of compliance because of the nature of the way this business works. So that's one area. The other thing is if you do decide to do more than one company and join and invite Scentsy contacts to your launch party or whatever, or to join, especially if you outright ask them to join, that's pretty easy. People know that's cross-promoting. But even inviting them to purchase is getting into gray, hazy area of, Orville uses this word and it's brilliant, leveraging your Scentsy contacts for your benefit and gain and profit to another company. So that's where the sales piece comes in. And, on the longer video, I told my story of being involved in Scentsy when it was new, and that has been an amazing experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was easy. And there were parts to it that, I needed to work it in a unique way because of the lack of brand recognition and all of that front work to get people loving the product and trying it and getting it in their homes. So, last night I talked about the challenges with being one of the first, and the challenges with, spreading yourself thin and your focus between multiple companies. But when it comes to the cross-promoting and our team, I've noticed a lot, especially with social media and Facebook. I mean, we are all interconnected, 6 degrees of separation very easily. And social media speeds that process up of finding each other. And so it's made a new world for us in every way, but in direct sales specifically, it is a whole new world we're working in compared to the early days of Mary Kay home parties and stuff like that. So we have to be conscious of this stuff and just be aware that you could be out of compliance and you could be hurting someone's business. If Scentsy is only, sales for you or getting it at a discount for yourself, that's great. But if you take somebody's focus away from Scentsy by drawing them into your new company, and therefore their upline, who is trying to make Scentsy a career and their sole income, that is why those rules exist, because you are affecting their business, and you met that person through them. So if I take, for example, 2 of my recruits, I brought you both into the team, therefore I introduced you to, and I introduced you to as Scentsy team members. So if one decides to leave and takes the other one, you have taken something away from me that I gave you. You've leveraged that contact that I and Scentsy, being a Scentsy independent consultant, gave you. So I don't want to beat it over and over and over again, and I promise this would be shorter. So that's that part. And then lastly, in order to find a way to still support friends with work at home businesses, I try to be a really good shopper from them privately. I tell them I'm a horrible host. That's part of it. I would be the worst host because I know what's expected, and I'm a procrastinator, and I'm not good at doing that myself. Do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And, I have a couple friends in other companies that I love learning from. And so we've started a breakfast club once a month to meet and help each other and learn from each other's different training that they may get and experiences, knowing that there is absolutely no risk to any of us leaving our company, and that is off the table. And from that, one of them we support each other's business for gifts, for our team incentives and stuff. So we're buying from each other to support our business with our own company and still supporting each other. So there are ways to get around it. And if you are just doing it not intentionally, but because you click invite all, I just ask that not only you be aware for your own protection and our protection, but also just to spare the uncomfortable conversation. I haven't brought it up with many of you, but it does make me uncomfortable, and not just because it's a rule. It makes me uncomfortable that I'm being invited to something by someone who doesn't know me at all, just because they met me through Scentsy. And I don't, and then there's the awkward letting them down or saying no thank you. And we don't want our consultants to feel that pressure in this environment. That's why we don't talk about anything in Scentsy. We don't ask for, money for our friends' issue. We keep our conversations in the official groups and areas for team to Scentsy business. So I'm done. Hope that makes sense. Like the other one, I want you to comment under in the Facebook group that you watched, but also questions, so we can discuss it. Anything that you're not understanding fully, we definitely want to talk about it and help you guys understand it better. And there's no reason to feel sorry or bad for anything that you may or may not have done in the past. This is just we need to talk about this again for moving forward. So